Alright, so here I have a new palette, plain palette. I'm pretty excited. I decided to get this because I don't have a good palette for my tube paints. I've been using my set that I made myself, but those are just like blocks and not tubes. And I have a lot of tubes from school I used to use and I stopped using because, again, I have a palette that I like. So I found this. It's called Fusion 33 watercolor palette. I guess it holds 33 colors. I'm assuming that's what that means. So this was, I don't know how much this was. This was probably like around $30. It wasn't cheap, but it's a good quality one, so I'm pretty excited. So let's open this baby up and let's check it out. Alright, so it's a nice blue. I'm kind of excited to put some stickers on this actually. Put some of my own stickers. This is made in Korea, apparently. So that's refreshingly new for me anyways. Everything's made in China. But yeah, I'm really excited. Alright. Ooh, alright. I see. So here's just like, I guess the mixing palette. You can also use this part as a mixing palette too, so there's plenty of room for that. Oh no, I don't know, this opens and I don't want to break it. I can't seem to grasp it, so I guess this is permanently, yeah, on here. And the seam side there should be, I guess, around 33. I'm not gonna count because I don't feel like counting. You guys can count if you want. But yay! So we got my palette, and then here are all my tubes. They all should be watercolor. I got some really old ones that I'm pretty sure weren't mine to begin with. And I got some that I bought when I was overseas, but this brand I remember not being so good, so I'll figure it out. The most common ones I have in here are Winsor Newton, which are the most common watercolor you could get. And what is this one? Classic watercolors. I think you can buy this too. Yeah, here. I'm trying to remember what you can. Like, I know for sure, yeah, Winsor Newton's very popular. Yeah, you get this kind too. It's like a Japanese kind. This one I got on clearance. So this was $7 on clearance. Jeez Louise. I wonder how much the actual thing was. But is this watercolor or acrylic? It looks more pigment. Yeah, it is watercolor. Wow. Okay. I mean, watercolor usually isn't cheap, but this was on sale, and this was $7 on sale, so cheap. I got some brushes in here I'll take out. I was wondering where they went. I don't keep track of my stuff, if you guys haven't noticed. So I wonder how I want to display all these. I'm quite excited. Here's a Blick brand, which I don't think really works well either, but I'm very particular. And it's hard to find like nice watercolors, and like once you buy watercolor, it's kind of like, is it gonna work or not? It's basically my issue. Alright, me rambling a lot. Let's get started. I might do, there's a thing in there. Get out of there. Okay. I might do, I don't know how I'm gonna display this. Maybe lights, and then I'll get to darks. That sounds pretty good, right? Yeah, lights to darks. So let's get started.
A little bit of light, a little bit of gold. Under pressure, you start to fold like a diamond from gold.
Alright, so I have my whole palette already set up, and I'm quite excited. So I have my drawing that I'm gonna paint. This is a character that came up with a few months ago. I did a character sheet. You can find it on my Instagram if you wanna see it. He has no name yet because I can't decide. But I got my color swatches right underneath this. And I have my water, I have my brushes. I'm just using some random brushes. I'm not gonna look for my other ones, so, which was fine. So let's get started. So first off, I'm just going to do the background a bit. I usually do background last, but I feel like this time I'm going to do a little bit first. I'm just trying to mix things up, and as you can see, I didn't really tape the edges because every time I try taping, they always rip on me, and I really don't want that. So I'm just going to be messy. I've actually been doing, if I'm going to sell these, I actually just paint the edges with a white acrylic, and it works pretty well. Thinking kind of like an introduction for a character, like those like character art when you get for a game. You have like a little cool like action pose or something with the main character you'll be playing as. So that was my idea for this guy, and I really wanted to paint him. I haven't really painted the other characters I had, which I really should, but this one I just really felt I wanted to do it. And I wanted to do it for a while, but I've been really busy. So I'm glad I finally have a little bit of time to do this. So when I was coming up with this character, I was actually visiting my family in France. They live in Bordeaux, France. So I was there over the wintertime visiting them, and I was trying to come up with a character because I was trying to learn how to do like pixel art and animation for like video games, because I don't know any of that, and I thought I should try to learn over this like winter time a little bit about it. So I actually came up with him. I actually found a really cute apartment when I was walking, French apartment outside, and I liked how the balcony looked because it was all like really oh gosh, so much plants. I actually drew it. I took a photo of it and I drew it as his little house kind of thing. And I really like mages, so I thought, well, what if he's a little mage cat, but he's a herbalist. So that's what my idea was, because the French really like plants and gardening, so I thought it'd be a really cute opportunity to do something like that. So he's basically a French cat. And he has a little companion. You kind of see in the bottom part, you'll see him once I start painting him, but he has a little like pot companion. He's a little potted plant that follows him. He also has a companion like plant in his scarf that never goes away and just talks to him. So I don't know what that's about, but I really like the idea of him. He's simple, but he's not like too simple. Like he's enough to get you like, huh, this is an interesting character. What's his story? I personally don't know yet, but there's enough of him to come up with a really interesting story as you go on with the game or whatever he's going to be in. So when I'm coming up with like characters and color schemes, it's always a tricky part because you want to come up with a really cool character to blow everybody's minds off, but the thing is, the simpler the better. Like, you don't want to like hurt yourself by coming up with the most complicated character in the world, and because you have to redraw it if you really like it. I mean, you don't have to redraw it, but if you really want something like that, you're gonna have to come up with a design that you can work with. And for him, I think I am able to draw him, and I could draw him like simple and complicated, and I went for kind of like a Native American kind of look kind of thing for his outfit. He has like a little writing that I came up with for like little mage writing, and he has a staff that's made of wood. It has like plants on it. So it goes with his aesthetic, especially since he's a mage herbalist. I went for like obviously the earth tones for him because it just made more sense. Like if he was a mage herbalist and I did him as like pastels, it just wouldn't work well. It just wouldn't make any sense. So that's why I went with the earthy tones, and earthy tones are pretty fun to work with. Sometimes it'd be a little difficult because like if you're not used to earthy tones, you're kind of like, oh, there's not really that much color, like brown, ew, it's kind of a gross color. But brown is not a gross color. Like, you just gotta find the tones of browns you like. Like, I like chocolate brown. That's a pretty color. And there's like red browns and like purple browns, and purple browns are really nice. So when coming up with a character like this, you want to think about their environment. Like, what kind of situations do they live through? Like, where do they live? Who they are? Like, I already said that he's an herbalist mage, and I wanted to influence that. So when I came up with him, again, I was thinking more like I said, Native American kind of like outfits, and then more like organic colors and things like that. But for his home, I actually come up with his home first, because I did say I found a really cute apartment in France that I wanted to incorporate in his story. So his home basically came first, and then he came out later. And he does live like in an apartment, so he's very like earthy, but he's also like, he likes kind of luxurious high up kind of places, even though it's not a luxurious apartment. It's a very small apartment. And he doesn't have a bed. He sleeps in his bathtub. So it's those kind of little things to come up with that makes the character like my other characters. Like my first Fisher cat, he sleeps on the couch. My cafe cat, he sleeps in a bed, but his home is like a little mini home that was a mobile home. This guy, he lives in an apartment, but the apartment's so small and full of plants that he sleeps in his bathtub. So it's kind of those little things that makes the character interesting, and you don't want anything too complicated. Like I'm not making fun of anybody, but I see a lot of characters who are like, oh, I'm this way because my family died in a car accident. Well, you know how many characters I read and all their family dies in a car accident? Like, how many car accidents are there? Jeez. So it's just kind of things, like just coming up with something original is really great, and it keeps the reader interested. Like kind of foods they eat, like their favorite color, just little things, but you don't want to make it too obvious. And for me, I just like anything small and cute, and anything that comes up with a character is a pretty good go for me. It's the small things like that really do bring out the character. But you don't want them to be too mysterious, because then you're like, well, what's his deal? Or I can't connect with this character because he's too mysterious. But I guess it works for like a secondary character, not like for a main character. You want to connect with them a little bit more than a character that you play as like, well, I don't know this character and he won't tell me anything and I can't learn anything, so I guess I'll just beat things up, because that's the kind of game I'm playing. So it's just those little things, like my opinion anyways, when I play games and come up with characters, I want to make sure I like the character enough to paint them and draw them, obviously. If I don't, then it's kind of like, well, this is a failure of a character because I don't have need or want to do anything with this. So just little tidbits from me to you. Just having a little consistency. Like he's basically kind of the same for my sketches, but I added a little more detail on him. But I still kept the little plants, I still kept the shape of his scarf, the shape of his outfit. I added shoes. He didn't have arms in my sketch because I just felt like he didn't need arms back then because it was very simple. So little things to think about. It also helps having like the simple shapes and simple colors. So we're going back to color because this whole video is basically about color, I'm assuming. I had no plan for this, I just did it. But simple shapes that are pleasant for the eyes and colors that are pleasant for the eyes. I know a lot of people like using red, but the problem with red, if there's too much red, it actually kind of hurts the viewer's eyes or your eyes because it's such a harsh color. And it's not like a color that you see like everywhere that's a lot of. So if I had them all red, I would probably hurt myself. Also, red is such kind of a vicious color that it wouldn't go with this character. Like with these colors, you kind of assume he's more like a down earth, again, like what I said, and more kind of like calm character, but there's still a bit of like, he could probably get really scary because like look at that face. He has a little scar on his eye. You can't really see now probably, but he does have little scars and a little beat up ear. He's been through some fights in his little life. So it's just those things that are interesting. Again, I'm just rambling. I don't remember what's going on. I'm just enjoying painting this because I'm talking while filming, but when I'm talking, it won't match what I'm painting, so I do apologize for that, but I also don't apologize because it's just the way how I do things. Okay, so now I'm going to start doing some of my detail work with my pens, and these are water resistant, so they shouldn't bleed when I go over with watercolor again, because most likely I'm going to add some more color and fix things up. But for now, I'm gonna do some detail work and make things look a little more cleaner.
I've been walking through the rain, don't know where I'm going. My head's leading me astray, yeah, you follow no wind. I see your face, I feel the pain, but you chose the path I follow. I'm in love with the way that you hold me when I fall back down, and I'm in love with the words from your voice that pull me off the ground now. This love's been a long time coming. My heart keeps running. I'm so fed up of the lies that my heart believed in, but staring deep into your eyes makes it all forgiven. I feel my comfort will be blown, my fears will grow out of control. Yeah, you still walk the path I follow anyways. Show me what's up, put me off the ground now. This love's been a long time coming.
Alright, as you can see, I did most of my line work with a very thin pen. I used the Prismacolor 005, which is one of the thinnest ones you can get. And I do use these a lot, so. But I like using the thin ones first, and then I go over it with a thicker like lining. So usually when I do the thicker lining, I always go like, well, what's kind of closer to you? So like I'll get this part thicker, the scarf thicker, the handle thicker, just a few thicker parts, but not like it'll blend in well with the thinner lining. So I'll probably be using my other Prismacolor, which is 03, or I could probably use my new pigment brush, the Sakura brand. This is a brush pen. I'm still not quite sure how I feel about these yet. I bought a few and I wish I didn't, but now because I'm stuck with these, but I might try this. Hopefully it won't ruin it. So I guess we'll find out. Alright, so I decided to do more in the background, and I'm going to use my Ecoline watercolor liquid. I love this stuff a lot. I think I had a video when I bought these. So I bought these whole bunch of these on my birthday, so I want to actually use them. So I'm gonna use this purple color. I don't know what color purple it is, so it's violet, pastel violet. So I'm gonna do that in the background and let's see how it goes. I feel like I want to make the background a little darker to bring out the character a little more. So yeah.
I've been walking through the rain, don't know where I'm going. My head's leading me astray, yeah, you follow knowing. Getting deeper in the frame, I see your face, I feel the pain, but you chose the path I follow. I'm in love with the way that you hold me when I fall back down, and I'm in love with the words from your voice that put me off the ground now. This love's been a long time coming. My breath slows but my heart keeps running. I'm so fed up of the lies that my heart believed in.
Okay, so I just finished with the Eco line, and now I'm going to start using some gouache. I'm going to use the gouache for the plants to bring them up a little more. You always kind of want to do gouache last because it's just much easier. And this is kind of like acrylic base too, so it's an interesting medium. I'm not going to explain too much about it. But here we go.
And I'm in love with the words from your voice that put me off the ground now. This love's been a long time coming. My breath stalls but my heart keeps running.
Okay, well that's the end of my video. I hope you guys liked it. It was just kind of a random talk, I'm sorry. But not sorry, I think it was pretty cool and I really like my painting, so I'm pretty excited to keep using the set that I made and continue developing this character. So until next time, bye.